You got it, Isaac? Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 22. When a prophet speaketh
in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not,
nor come to pass. We in June! Ain't no microchips! It's June! Give me that. You got it, Isaac? Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 22. When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass. We in June! Ain't no microchips! It's June!
Would you like to just wave your hand and pay for something you've bought at the store? Well, one tech company is making that happen. Instead of carrying your wallet in your pocket or purse, tech company wants you to carry it under your skin. The company, Wallet is selling microchips as alternate payment options. So this chip is about the size of a grain of rice, costs about $300. The chip is implanted into your body, preferably your hand. Once you activated it using a digital wallet app, Wallet says that you'll be able to make purchases at most businesses around the world just by swiping your hand over a card reader. So far, about 200 people have already gotten the implant.
All right, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai Barakathum, to the hopeful elect, because at the end of the day, this message is only for the hopeful elect, because when it comes down to it, man, only the elect are going to take heed to the message, the warnings that have been going out, starting with the apostles and the elders, which, I mean, just through the spirit, man, it's clear that, these are men of the Lord. These are the men that the Lord set up, all right, to teach the 100% truth, the 100% doctrine, because again, starting with the apostles, man, they've been teaching on this, dealing with the Charagma, the Revelation 13, 16 and 17, they've been teaching on it, speaking on this from the very beginning, since day one. All right. You see, and the time is going to come when the men of the Lord, man, they're not going to be giving these warnings out anymore, because ultimately this is all going to come down to a choice. It's going to come down to a decision that we're all going to have to make, as it tells you in the book of Revelation, going into that hour of temptation, man. This is going to befall everyone in the world, this hour of tempting, to where our faith is going to be tested to the max. All right. And again, we're all going to be put in this position to where we are either going to have to pledge allegiance to Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai or Esau Edom. All right, because you see, you have a lot of these Israelite groups, man. A lot of these so-called leaders, man, are bucking up and speaking out against this. All right, and Salakia, I'm trying to type a precept up real quick, but what would be cold, man? It'd be real cold, because the Lord, man, he, people think that the Lord is one-dimensional, but he actually has a sense of humor, and you see, that's why I played the clip with the leader of the IUIC. And let me just say this, because oftentimes when you post videos or clips from the IUIC, a lot of times the videos get taken down. So in case this is, and plus, this is speaking on the Charagma, the MOTB. So oftentimes when we, speak on this subject as well, they take the video down as well. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, for the YouTube algorithm, I'm not in any way, I'm not giving out any advice. All right, I'm not making any monetary gain. All right, The clips that I use are, just strictly for, information purposes only. All right. Again, I'm not making any monetary gain. I'm not giving out any medical advice. All right. But nevertheless, this video will be uploaded on BitChute or Odyssey. The link will be in the description. But nevertheless, man, I was saying, because it'd be cold. Because like I said, the Lord does have a sense of humor, and this guy, the leader of the IUIC, gonna try to not to even mention his name, but because this clip, the first clip going into the first clip that I played of the leader of the IUIC, which he's one of those guys that speak out against, he speaks against what the MOTB is, and that's why I played that clip, man, because which is it's an older clip rather, but nevertheless, how cold would it be if, because here it is, what month are we in? Here it is, we're in April, and here it is, they're talking about the Charagma, man. Now how cold would it be if the Lord actually had it to where come June that, this thing would be fully up and running, that would be pretty cold, man, but nevertheless, this is what they're talking about now. Now it's a thing now here in the States, as I've mentioned before, because, with the devil, he has to be crafty with it. He has to be, cunning with it. All right. Because he can't just all out, right. Just come out with the Charagma and just, everyone has to take it, or else, he's got to present it in a way to where, it'll catch people. It'll catch everyone's eye. It'll catch everyone's attention. He has to present it in a way to where it's appeasing to the people. All right. So that, with that, they'll just willingly come down and, because this is what John the Revelator, this is what he seen when he was on the island of Patmos, man. He's seen people lined up, to take this Charagma, man. This is a part of what he's seen in his visions, people lining up to take this, to take that Charagma. Because I was also watching a guy by the name of the Angry Prepper. I've done videos on him before, and he brought out a good point. He brought out a good point about how here it is, they're because with all the hell that's going on, the way that Esau is going to present it, he's going to present that Charagma in a way that this is pretty much going to be the answer to all solution. All right, this is pretty much going to be the problem solver. All right, that Charagma. Going back to what I was watching, the Angry Prepper, he brought out a good point about how here it is with all this talk, because I'm going to say with these orchestrated famines, all right, these controlled famines, because that's what they are, all right. And here it is, you got these guys talking about basically replacing, the meat supply with basically, because, they got the stuff like the Beyond Meat, right? So basically they want to replace the meat supply with basically, synthetic meat, fake meat. They even got talking about 3D printed meat and stuff like that, and bugs are a good source of protein and stuff like that, again, due to the fact that there's a lack of meat and, food and stuff like that, the food shortages and stuff like that, right? So again, with all the problems that's going on, like I said, he was mentioning about how pretty much, because one way or the other, the time is going to come when, as the prophecy states, in order to buy or sell, you're going to have this Charagma. All right. Who's to say that, that Esau, he creates the situation. He creates the situations that are so dire, so desperate to where, or you want food or whatever the case may be, then, you have to get this Charagma. Like I said, he brought out what he was mentioning in the video. He brought out good points, like I said, with all this, food shortages, all right, stuff like that, man, you know, because another video that I'm going to play, because this is what we're going to start seeing in the Lord's will, man, in the near future. Well, let me not jump the gun. Like I said, I have a video. I got the next video queued up, but I'm going to read this real quick in Ezekiel, because again, the time is going to come when, whether you agree with this or not, pertaining to the Charagma, all right, and whether you agree or not, whether it's the MOTB, the time is going to come where we're all going to have to make a decision one way or the other, to where, you know, we're going to have to decide if we're going to take this or not, you know, because you got these guys, man, teaching their congregations against this, speaking out against this, all right, saying it's this and that. They teach that it's everything except for what it really is, man, because only those that have eyes to see, man, we can clearly see that this is, again, starting with what the apostles have been teaching for so long, man. This is it, man. This implantable device, you know, which these guys, they're not warning their congregation, man. And that's why and you see a lot of guys, man, when this thing comes around, because that's another thing. When this comes around, we're not going to be out there like that, like how we are now. You know, this truth won't be so readily accessible as it is now. You know, a brother had brought out a good point, because, you know, during our time during Jacob's trouble, you know, we are going to, you know, some of us are going to be, you know, teaching, but more so is going to be like on the down low. Like I said, we're not going to have these different platforms, you know, social media platforms and stuff like that. We're not going to be out there on the highways and hedges when all hell breaks loose. But a lot of us, we're going to be teaching on the down low, because you still are going to have, you know, members of the elect waking up. You know, so you're going to have those last second Israelites that the Lord deemed to have mercy upon. You know, they're still going to be waking up. All right. So a lot of us are, you know, going to be teaching, but it's more so going to be underground. You know, it's going to be more so on the low. So you see, when this comes around, and it's in, because that's another thing. When this comes out, when this is mandated, hey, all hell is going to be breaking loose. You know, because this is going to be a time when, you know, they're going to be kicking in doors. All right, public executions for people that don't want to take the Charagma and stuff like that. Martial law troops. All right, this is what's going to be going on when this Charagma is mandated. You know, you're going to have World War III popping off. All hell is going to be breaking loose. So again, we're not going to be out here like how we are now. All right, but nevertheless, before that takes place, this is why, again, we're trying to, you know, let people know now what it is and not to take it. And that's why I'm going to read this in Ezekiel 3:17. It says, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel." Because, as I've been saying, man, the focus is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You see, Esau and the other nations, they could take the Charagma. All right, it doesn't matter what they do, if they take it or not. You know, but the focus is you Israelites. All right, you know, we're trying to warn our people about these things. All right, because there is a penalty if you take this. If you take this, there is a penalty. You know. Man, I don't even know if I uploaded the video yet, but in the video, I did a video, going into basically how, it's either first or I think it's Second Maccabees, the 6th chapter, going into Eleazar, that I believe he was the high priest, and basically Esau was trying to get him to sell out. All right. But his mindset, and this is a mindset that we ought to have, his mindset was, you know, pretty much, even if he does sell out and, you know, he gets away with, you know, he escapes judgment from Esau. Nevertheless, he's still going to have to deal with Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Because that's one thing, you know, when it comes down to it, you take that Charagma, you might get away with Esau. All right. You might escape his penalty, but nevertheless, you're still going to have to face the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shai, because again, there is going to be a penalty. There is a penalty that, you know, you're going to have to, you know, face if you take that Charagma, which I'm going to get that later. But nevertheless, this is why we're trying to warn our people now about this. All right, because again, like I said, when this comes around, when this is mandated, you know, all hell is going to be breaking loose. But you see, if you took heed to the warnings and, you know, you built yourself up upon the firm foundation, all right, which is Yahweh Shai. You see, when these things come around, then, you know, you're not going to be shooken up. You know, when the flood comes, your house is not going to be, as you know, scriptures talk about, your house is not going to be tossed to and fro. Your house is not going to be swept away, because it's built. Your foundation is built on a rock. It's built on a solid foundation. Like unlike these people, their foundation is going to be built on sand. So when the flood comes, all right, aka Esau, when he comes in, like I said, with the military, martial law, and all these other things, draconian laws and stuff like that, because the time is going to, Esau he is going to set up to where, hey, going back to those draconian laws, man, you don't want to take this Charagma, then you could face the highest penalty being death, but even because there are things worse than death. All right. Death, people are simply, they don't understand the process of death. All right. But, there are things worse than death, man. And, if you're not of the elect, and hey, the scriptures talk about how basically you're going to suffer real horribly, man. People are going to be suffering horrible things, man, horrible judgments. And more so our people, again, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. All right. Because, Esau, he is going to have torture chambers and stuff like that going on. Again, when all hell break loose and when it goes down out here, man, like I said, people are going to be getting tortured to death. All type of stuff is going to be going on, man. Anything to get people to take that Charagma. But nevertheless, again, if you took heed to the warnings, then, hey, we're built up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. We're going to be built up. But again, it says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. All right. You see, because ultimately that Charagma is really the Most High's Charagma. It's really the Yahweh Shema Shai. It's really his Charagma, his M-A-R-K. All right. You see, because again, when that time comes, it's going to be a thing of our faith is going to be put to the ultimate test, and the Lord is going to, he wants to see who's going to, stand up for him. He's going to want to see those that, because that's what the Lord requires of us, man. He requires our faith. You see, and again, when the times get tough and there's no food and it's just all hell breaking loose, well, if you don't, again, you're going to make one of two choices. You can either depend on Yahweh Shema Shai to feed you, to clothe you, to take care of you, or you're going to go to Esau, put your trust in his system and be pierced through, because again, the scriptures do talk about, where's that at? See if I can find that real quick. I think that's in Isaiah. Just to always show that this, when it comes to this Charagma, man, it's a physical thing. You got people talking about how, it's a what do you call it? A spiritual thing. When Esau, he's not a spiritual person. All right. Esau, he's carnal. His blessing is carnal. You see, our gift is spiritual. You see, because again, hey, the hopefully elect, we're going to put our trust in Yahweh Shema Shai, man. How our thing's going to play out, we don't know. It's not for us to know, but that's why we have to have faith. Isaiah 36, it says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. All right. In America, it's spiritual Egypt. All right. And again, these people, they put their trust in this system, this broken system. All right. Because this place is on its way out. This place is falling. And you still have our people, man, putting their trust, all right, in this place. When this place is through, man, this place is finished. As it tells you in Jeremiah, man, there's no balm for her wound, man. There's no healing agent for her wound. And like I said, all the things that's going on, from the food shortages and everything. Like I said, Esau is going to present that Charagma as the end all be all. He's going to present that Charagma as the solution to all things. You see. And again, hey, you best believe, Jake, our people, they're going to go running down to them stations, man, because that's another thing to come. All right. You're going to see those stations. You see, we got a small glimpse of that with the whole Vanessa thing. All right. You had, different pharmacies and, different clinics and stuff, different stations set up to where people can get the Vanessa. All right. Well, soon we're going to see stations. All right. And in it, you're going to see people taking that Charagma, taking that digital oil, man, that implementation, that implant. But it says, whereon, if a man lean it if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. You see? All right. I don't think that's what I wanted, but nevertheless, I mean, you know, I don't think that's what I wanted. I'm gonna read it again. It says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed into his hand." Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. Because you see, that's what Esau did. When it comes to that digital oil, all right, that's what he wants to do, man. You know, when you go into the word Charagma, it goes into that. It goes into the actual, you know, the actual, the CHIP, all right. But when you go into that Charax, the root word of Charagma going into Charax, man, it goes into basically the instrument that's going to be used in, basically the syringe or the needle, all right. You know, the piercing agent, so to say, you know, because again, it's going to be a physical implementation. It's going to be a physical thing, a physical implementation. All right. You see, that's why the other clip that I played before this, you know, talked about the digital tech. You might not have, you know, heard it clear, but it was basically going into the tech company that's basically, you know, set it up to where people can, you know, get this implant and, you know, people can get this implant and instead of, you know, walking around with a wallet and you know, money and stuff like that, well, everything's going to be on this implant. All right. You know, your transactions, everything is going to be, you know, it's not going to be just money either. It's going to be everything about who you are as a person. You see, your you know, bank records, your social security, all that. It's going to be on this Charagma, man. You know, all your information is going to be in this Charagma. And the time, you know, people are walking around with all this, you know, documentation, social security cards and stuff like that. Well, the time is going to come with that's what this thing. That's why I said earlier with Esau, he has to present this in a way, all right, that is convenient for everyone. Because again, everyone's, you know, walking around with, you know, IDs and stuff like that. Well, what more convenient way if you just have all your information stored on this you know, device, and all you got to do is swipe your hand, man. You know, all you got to do is with this, you know, have this implant in you. And again, it, you know, it has all your information of who you are. All right. So on and so forth. You see, in the name of convenience. All right. You see, just like how with every, you know, for a while, years ago, everyone was walking around with cash. Well, now everyone has credit cards. And now, you know, everyone has these, you know, Apple Pays and stuff like that. Well, pretty soon all that's going to be inside you. All right, all that's going to be inside you. You see? So I'm going to play this video here, right? Because again, you know, now we're going to start seeing more and more talks about this here in the States. All right? Like in other places, man, you know, it's a popular thing. Well, they have to make this like a popular thing, a popular trend. All right? Because this is going to be the new hip thing. This is going to be the new thing, the new trend, the new fab. And soon everyone's going to be walking around with the, you know, these implants. All right. You know, so I'm gonna play this video here.
Many have started paying for things with our phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So, the overseas company Walletmore is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice, goes under the skin, it's then activated using a digital wallet app. The chip is going for about $300, and the company says at least 200 people have gotten them implanted already. I would have many questions for a doctor about that.
Yeah, how healthy is that micro, did it?
No.
It was pretty big. I mean, it was a pretty big chip. I mean, you know, a paper cut hurts. You're going to put a thing like that? You know, what happens if you have to change banks? You gotta you gotta change it out. I don't know. I ain't interested in it. Keep it away from me.
I would just want to know how it affects your body.
Yeah, it can't be good. It can't be good to put some electronic device in your body and keep it there. Ooh, good luck with that.
So how?
This is the story that is going to launch your.
So how it'll affect your body? Well, again, as the apostle's been breaking down for many years, man. I'm gonna read this in Revelation, and I might have to do the part 2 to this because there is another video that I want to play. But yeah, I got to do a part 2 because I'm, at the camp and meet up with the brothers. Revelation 16. Now this is the effect that it'll have on your body because again there is a penalty. All right, there is going to be a penalty for those that take this. All right. And you see another thing about it is because you see if you take that Charagma, man, it's not gonna you're not gonna be able. It's not gonna be a thing because a lot of people are gonna take the Charagma knowing that it's the MARK. All right, and a lot of people are gonna try to do it on the download. Well, it's only going to be a matter of time before if eventually it's going to be made clear that you took the Charagma. Why? Well, because again, going back to the question, how does this affect your body? Well, Revelation 16 verse 1 it says, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. And the first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth. Salaki. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the MARK of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So you see, all those that take this Charagma, man, there's going to be a grievous sore, all right, like a cancer, all right, because naturally, when there's something, when the body, when there's a foreign object in the body, naturally the body tries to fight it and get rid of it. Well, that Charagma is going to be a foreign object, be put inside the body, and the body's going to fight it. It's going to reject it. It's going to, try to get it out. And this is why you're going to have people getting sick and all type of stuff, man. You're probably going to have people bleeding from their pores, their eye sockets. All right, people are going to be foaming at the mouth. This is probably going to be all type of reactions. All right, because again, that implementation, that implant is a foreign thing to the body. You see, it's not natural. And naturally, the body's going to reject it. All right. So that's the type of, effect that this is going to have on the body. All right. But nevertheless, yeah, I'm going to have to do a part 2 because I got to meet up with the brothers. So Lord's will, this is edifying. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone. Yahweh Bashem Shai, Brakathum to you, hopefully elect. Lord's willing, until next time. Shalom.